Ladies and gentlemen, it's May 14th, 2014, and this is your Fortean Slip news.
From beforeitsnews.com, Muckatee Station, I like that word, 110 kilometers north of Tennant Creek, has been home to various UFO sightings over the years, but now an unexplained marking has appeared on the land.
It's also the entry to Hogwarts.
Didn't know that.
Is it
Station manager Ray Aylett has said he thinks the spot is a crop circle. There's no other explanation, he said.
No other explanation.
Guy mowing the lawn. That threw you off?
Wow.
Yes, the guy mowing the lawn threw me off. Other ground around there is rough, and the circle is all smooth. Mr. Aylett said he had seen UFOs at Muckatee Station for many years, but they have never bothered to visit him. I've been trying to get them to come and have a beer and steak and a yarn, but the bastards won't come near me.
Those sons of bitches.
On the Tuesday after Easter, Mr. Aylett said he saw what looked like rectangular clouds in the sky as he drove back to the station from Elliott.
Saw what looked like a rectum.
Prior to the crop circle sighting, the remote station had been drenched by rain, making the road inaccessible in the wet, but once it dried out, the strange shape became clear. He said his bull runner, Kim Bott, I have no idea what that is, didn't notice the circle when he went out there on his motorbike, but 2 weeks later, on April 7th, the crop circle was discovered when Mr. Aylett went to grade the road.
With his chip job, Google Flounder.
I have no idea. When he was out mustering, he flew over the air to see if there were any other circles.
What did you do yesterday? I mustered.
Only one.
I mustered me up some stuff.
He is not sure if the aliens are trying to make contact, but whenever he spots UFOs, Mr. Aylett is out with his torch waving hello. For those in the United States, that means flashlight, I believe.
Thank you, Steve.
And in our next story, from robot6.comicbookresources.com, in 2011, writer Joey Esposito and artist Jonathan Moore kickstarted Footprints, a 4-issue hard-boiled detective comic that followed Bigfoot, the Jersey Devil, and other cryptids as they investigated the death of a Yeti. Now the duo has returned to that world and to Kickstarter
to investigate the death of Hank.
For a one-shot subtitle, Bad Luck Charm. The
one-shot subtitled... No, for a one-shot subtitled Bigfoot North, a bunch of dog shit.
The one-shot features 2 new tales, one set before the events of Volume 1 and one set after. Esposito told Robot 6 the first story, given away for free on the Kickstarter campaign, features the O-Fish, Jersey Devil, and Volume 1's Big Bad Mother Isa. I'm assuming that's the Moth Lady. Heading to...
Come on now.
Motherisa. Well, it says M-O-T-H-E-R. That's right, Mother.
Yeah.
Isa.
With moth wings.
Yes.
Heading to 1962 to Las Vegas
not
to try
Spiderman. He's Spider-Man.
The second story will catch up with Foot, Nessie, Devil, and Choop as they investigate a new cryptid emerging in the swamps of South Carolina, the Lizard Man.
And the Wolverine.
Esposito provided Robot 6 with the first story, which is posted in its entirety on Robot 6. And if you'd like to see the second one, you have to go and join the Kickstarter campaign for at least $15.
When they go and look for the real cryptid, the well-endowed white man.
Okay. And From the most reputable news source to date, Disclose.tv. Disclose.tv. This one's about H.R. Geiger creating the Chupacabra. Chupacabra, the goat sucker. Few cryptids have names as evocative as that. Goat sucking. It sounds like something the mother of your enemy does. Really? The weird thing about the Chupacabra is that it's new. There are no Chupacabra sightings before 1995. That didn't stop the monster from quickly hitting the pop culture consciousness, and by 1997 it even had itself an X-Files episode. That newness is hard to explain. The Chupacabra didn't pop up in some unexplored section of the African jungle or deep in the unseen ocean. It showed up first in Puerto Rico, and then in fairly populated areas near the U.S.-Mexico border. Where did it come from? Well, some believe it was never seen before 1995 because that's the year it arrived from space. Just reading the story. There's a lot of
1995.
There's a lot of aquatic UFO activity.
Aquatic, Steve.
Jesus Christ, son.
I don't always pronounce things right. I'm sorry. There's a lot of aquatic UFO activity in Puerto Rico. So maybe that's from where the goat sucker came. Of course, that means you have to buy not only a small humanoid goat-sucking creature, but also UFOs. According to Occam's razor, that's not right. So, does professional skeptic Benjamin Radford disprove, by the way? He spent years investigating the Chupacabra and kept coming back to the question of the creature's origins. Or is it origins?
Holy shit.
Why did it pop up in 1995? Why wasn't there any folklore tradition of it? He blames H.R. Geiger. The first person to ever see a Chupacabra is a woman named Madeline Tolentino. There had been Chupacabra attacks on animals in Puerto Rico earlier, but no one had seen the creature.
Did you just say aminals?
I probably did. But no one had seen the creature suspected of the attacks.
HR Geiger and stuff.
Earlier reports said that the Chupacabra had drained animals dry of their blood, but tests found that simply wasn't true.
And also had babies that attached to your face and put parasites down you and they burst out of your fucking chest.
It was the second week of August, 1995, and she was at home in Cano Venice, Puerto Rico, and Radford sums up her sighting. He says, Tolentino said that the Chupacabra she saw had dark eyes that went up to its temples and spread around the sides. It was about 4 feet tall, walked like a human on 2 legs, and had thin arms and legs.
It was
with
followed
3
around by Sigourney Weaver with a blowtorch.
And was looking for something called It's Precious.
With 3 fingers and toes at the end of each limb. It had no ears or nose, but instead 2 small air holes. She also noticed a row of distinctive spikes on the creature's back. It stood outside a window, then moved into a road and leaped off into tall grass into a neighboring vacant lot.
Does that description sound anything like a hairless dog? Just asking.
No,
Radford takes some issue with Tolentino, with what Tolentino saw, because it sounds, well, totally unbelievable. After Tolentino claimed to have seen the monster, she didn't panic, but instead joked to her mother about the Chupacabra's apparent lack of an anus. That she could possibly have noticed such a detail from a distance defies credibility.
I've got to go really bad.
You can't.
Tolentino sighting is ground zero for Chupacabra, and her description created the template for all Chupacabra sightings to come.
Obviously it fucking didn't, because people think it's a fucking dog.
And here's the...
With a clearly visible anus, I might add.
H.R. Geiger, famous for creating the xenomorph, I pronounced that right, by the way, an alien, had designed Syl. The alien has his familiar biomechanical elements grafted onto the body of Natasha Henstridge. And it looks a lot... I haven't seen that movie, by the way.
From the movie Speakies.
It looks a lot like the Chupacabra, says Radford. The kicker, though, is that Species, the movie the thing was in, is... And now I lost my spot. The kicker, though, is that Species was released in Puerto Rico on July 7th, 1995.
Dun,
Just,
dun, dun.
Just a month before Tolentino saw the monster, and right in the beginning of the Chupacabra craze. And where is the monster first seen in the movie? If you said Puerto Rico, you either saw and remember Species, or you know where this is going. Where this is going is that Tolentino has admitted she saw Species before citing the Chupacabra. H.R. Geiger's work on Alien has infected our nightmares forever. His biochemical monstrosities are now part of our... Didn't I say that?
No.
What did I say? Biochemical?
Yes.
Yeah.
Are now a part of our imaginative landscape. It's impressive, but perhaps more impressive is the fact that his designs for Species managed to skip our pop culture consciousness and leap directly into the real world. What's a bigger deal that the monster he created in Alien still scares us today, and that the monster he created in Species somehow came alive and has been draining animals of their blood.
It hasn't, though. It's a fucking hairless dog. Ask any fucking Texan.
You know, that is the news, fellas. But no hairless dog has spikes on its back.
Exactly.
There you go. That's the point that Matt and I have been trying to make for a while now.
So you can't mistake a hairless dog for a chupacabra.
Correct. You're absolutely
Unless
right.
you're from Texas.
So how can a chupacabra be a hairless dog then?
It can't be.
I'm sorry. It can't.
Okay.
And that's the news,
just said
ladies and
Chupacabra.
gentlemen. Chupacabra, you heard it here first. H.R. Geiger. Now that he's dead, we're going to blame him for the Chupacabra craze. Thank you, H.R. Geiger.